So now that we have our dog dealing with distractions in an environment, we can start to wean ourselves off of having cookies on us at all times. It can be really hard to do so, but this is one of the greatest ways to make sure that your dog will listen to you in more environments. So in order to do this, there's a basic process of it. The first is to make sure that your dog can ignore some distractions in the environment. So make sure you do that before you try and do getting cookies off your body. Ideally, you want to be at the point with distractions where you're rewarding with the same level of distraction that is out there, and your dog is ignoring that distraction. So what we're going to do is we're going to take all of our food that we have and make sure it is only in our bait bag or in a jar or in a container or something. You want something that is not super easy for your dog to get into. So I wouldn't use an open bowl. A tall jar might be a good option. This bait bag I have is pretty hard for most dogs to get into. So something that is not immediately accessible by the dog. We're basically going to make it so that our treat pouch is only a little tiny bit away. So this seems pretty simple because it's almost the exact same as if you had your treat bag on. But as we get to the point where we can start to put it further and further away and still ask our dog to do things, then we can start putting it in a different room. We can start putting it someplace else entirely. And when we get to that point, then we can start asking our dogs to do something when they don't even know where the treats are. Yeah, good boy. Why don't you come down here? Good boy. Nice job. Okay, go play. Yeah, and usually for him, once I have him, I can't get rid of him. Yes, good boy. Excellent work. So that is another example of what I really want to see with the distraction, right? He sniffed at it and then realized, hey, yes. Oh, I can ask my owner and they will give me something just as good or better. And eventually, yes, you get to the point where that's such an ingrained response to them that they will do it even if the distraction is better than whatever you've got. All right, with Merlin, we're going to work on some cookies off body stuff. But so what we're going to do first is I like having some sort of elevated surface. This picnic table is going to work really well, or the grill could work really well. And I'm going to take all of my cookies and I'm going to put them to a place where he probably won't go. I'm going to wait for him to check in with me. Yes! And then I'm going to reward from off body. Yes! Good boy. Yes! Good boy. Now there we actually just did something where I was a little bit further away. And that's the next step, is getting a little bit further. Yes! Getting a little bit further away from your treats. Asking your dog to pay attention to you. Well, not asking, just waiting for them. Yes! Good boy. And then going over and getting the food. This is where these markers really come in handy because you can mark the exact second, yes, without having to have the cookie right then and there. Now you still want to get the cookie pretty close after, but it's not awful. Yes! Nice job. Now, as you get used to this, yeah, you're going to want to ask for a little bit longer of attention. Now, you can do this through a few different things. I'm doing it here through our little touching game that we do a lot. Because we want our dogs to not automatically just check out, like Merlin was doing there. So I realized that he was looking at me and then he was just like, okay, once I get my cookie, I'm going to check out. So I want a little bit more investment in me. So I'm going to play with him a little. Good boy. And then I'm going to give him a cookie. And then I'm going to tell him, okay, you can go check it out. Now, some dogs, like Merlin, get a kick out of batting a jar around. So if so, you can just pick it up and be like, nope, you don't get to do that. Put it down again. Yes. Good boy. And allow him that. Okay. So that's a little bit more interaction with it than I would like, so I'm just going to pick it up. Yes, good boy. And here's where the 2 cookie method is great, because now I can get him away from the distraction. Good boy. Nice job. Ready? Alrighty, well hopefully this has helped a little bit more understanding how to start with cookies off your body and also how to work a little bit more on distractions. I will see you in class tomorrow. I sincerely apologize for my lack of videos earlier. Just overbooked myself this week, so thanks for your understanding.